Hi, this is Andrew Krug, the Global Community Manager for Niantic Labs, and you're listening to the Agent Academy podcast.
Today's podcast is brought to you by Audible. Get a free audiobook download and 30-day free trial at www.audibletrial.com/agentacademy. Over 180,000 titles to choose from for your iPhone, Android, Kindle or MP3 player. And now, welcome to the Agent Academy.
Downloading latest intel package. Welcome back. I was getting worried about you.
Agent Academy, episode number 42, recorded on January 7th, 2019. I'm Agent Goonie Guy.
I'm Agent Zally Polly.
And today we got missions. Everything about missions, tips and tricks, what badges you can get doing missions, and all the what's in the capsule ideas are about missions. But before we get to that, let's get to... I hear you're still not feeling well, Agent Zelly Belly.
I am trying not to talk, and I am eating cough drops still, yeah. I just got back from the doctor, and yeah, he says I'm going to be sick for a couple more weeks. It sucks.
That sucks.
No, I know. That's not what I went to the doctor. They should fix it.
You're supposed to give me a
Fix it
shot.
now.
Let me go.
They didn't do that.
Need a different doctor. That's what it is. Need a second opinion.
No, I got like plans this week. I missed everything this weekend. I missed my niece's birthday. I missed D&D that I had planned all day. I missed, we had a first Saturday around here. I thought I was going to miss that anyway, but then it turned out my D&D plans kind of shifted locations, so I could have been in, but I was sick, so I didn't go because I didn't know if I was contagious or not. And it turns out, I'm super contagious.
Well, I'm glad you didn't go, and then people would be like, she came here to get us all sick.
Right? Yeah.
Retribution. So, that sucks. I'm not sick.
That's good. I'm glad you're better already. How'd you get better already?
As soon as I started feeling the throat, I took all the echinacea and vitamin C and... I
took all that stuff.
I think mine was just a sore throat. I didn't have
we might not have the same thing.
Cruddy thing that you had. Luckily. But hopefully you'll get better. And, the one thing you didn't miss, though, was this show.
What?
You're here.
I know. I'm still here.
And I was like, we can push it. No, let's do the show. So we're going to do it.
No, I have plans.
Did you want to mention anything else you did this week?
Well, I was kind of sick and didn't do a lot.
Yeah.
But speaking of missions, I did have a mission get rejected again.
What?
I keep trying to get, and it's happened to me before. Excuse me.
If you hear silences, it's
sorry, I don't want to cough. That's my cough break. I've had it happen before where I was trying to do a history of a town, type of historic places in the town, and it kept getting rejected. And I just kept changing little details of it here and there and resubmitting it to try and figure out what was wrong. Because they kind of just send the same, I get the same email every time. The image has to be unique, and you can't be claiming that your mission is official in any way. And I'm not doing that for, so odd. So anyway, eventually the one got approved. So I was like, okay. So this one I have submitted 3 or 4 times. Rawsonville, you can actually look it up on YouTube. There's little tiny documentaries about it. Is a little ghost town in Michigan, and it is under a lake. Well, the location it used to be is under a lake because it was by a river that they dammed up and flooded. The town was a ghost town already when they did it. So it's just kind of the only identification that the town was ever there is one landmark sign, and that's a portal. And then the actual dam that did it is a portal. And there's certain there's 6. There's just 6 portals that allow me to make it a mission. And
Right.
so I'm just kind of having trouble getting it through. I keep editing it here and there. I don't know. I gotta go back to the old editing board and see what I can.
Huh.
I know, because I feel like that's like a historic thing. Like I feel like that's what missions are for, is telling the historical story of the towns or of the area. So I don't feel like I'm violating anything. So I'll have to go back to the drawing board on that one again. Yeah.
And and this is just a mission. It's not like a banner. So
No, it's just one mission.
I don't know. Maybe it's just like
It's a hack
change
only.
that image or something.
I might have to change the image.
But
I do tend to use images I find, which you're not supposed to do. But I have had them rejected when I've posted my own photos as well. So
right.
I don't know. And I've seen lots of badges that were not official images.
just like
Unique.
Batman, and you showed me one that had like Will Smith in it. Prince of Bel-Air.
Yeah, there's a Prince of Bel-Air mission in Michigan. Yeah, it's pretty awesome. I was, we have a Willow Park, and I did a mission through there, and I wanted to put Willow, like, on the front and I had photoshopped it, so it was Willow, and then, like, actually in the background it was the Willow Park in the background for the mission, and the badge looks so awesome, but they just kept rejecting it. So finally I just submitted it with just the Willow Park picture as the badge. But it would have been it was like a much better badge with Willow.
Yeah. Well, maybe you got on some list from trying to submit Willow too much, and now they're think it's the same one, so they keep sending you the same email.
Yeah, maybe.
Have someone else submit it.
No, it's my mission.
That's right. There's also something else cool that happened this week.
We hit 200 Instagram followers this week, so that's awesome.
Nice. And that's been kind of like your pet project is you're posting on there tons and keeping it active. So I know we have some questions you're going to answer tonight from Instagram.
A lot of Instagram feedback because I've been sick, and so I'm getting like 2 to 3 hours of sleep because I'm coughing so much I can't sleep. So we're getting a lot of activity on Instagram.
Well, that's awesome. Well, and this week I really haven't been too busy myself. It's only been a few days since the last show, really. But after talking about the missions and doing the mission shows, I went on a rampage and submitted like 6 missions. And
did they get approved?
I haven't gotten a message yet. Like I looked back to see how long it normally takes, and all my past ones have only taken like 2 days, 2 or 3 days. But I'm assuming with the holidays, maybe they got backed up, and so they kind of manually go through those. So I figured it'll take longer to catch up.
That's not done through OPR, so yeah.
Yeah. So we'll see.
Cool.
We're going to skip the bumper for sit rep because nothing really happened. The only thing we got to say is just remember we're going to start recording the show on Monday nights, same time. And that means the episodes will be released on Wednesday, it looks like. Possibly sooner once we get a few things set up to do live. But until then, let's move on to...
What's in the capsule?
What's in the capsule? What's in the capsule? What's in the capsule? What's in the capsule? What's in the capsule? What's in the capsule? What's in the capsule?
There's that capsule. It fell right here and made a loud noise. And we're changing up things a little bit with what's in the capsule. It's not just going to be ideas for the game or for the scanner or for Ingress. It's also going to be your comments and stuff from different places. That way we don't have to play a bunch of bumpers and do it for 2 comments. So,
it's still like what's in the capsule. It's stuff, things people send in, so it makes sense.
yeah.
We'll try it. We'll see how it goes.
And if you're angry about it, let us know.
Send it in and we'll read it in what's in the capsule.
And before we move on to the mission suggestions, you want to go through the Instagram?
Sure. I posted, one thing that we got was, we just had a lot of First Saturdays, as a lot of people know. You didn't have any in your area at all.
No.
One thing I kind of wanted to point out, we do have a first Saturday map on the website now, at agentacademypodcast.com. And you can see every month we're going to update it, right?
Yeah.
I say
month.
it's going to be Goonie Guy. But every month we're going to update it so you can see where first Saturdays are happening all over the world. And so that pulls from where?
Well, we just get the data from they actually have a spreadsheet with all the dates
cool.
on it. So I just grab it from there and then put it through a thingy and it spits it out. So I'll make a layer every month so we can actually go back and look at where they've been. So it won't muddy up the whole thing. Each month we'll just show the newest ones. But they are sometimes late with those dates. Like it's not always, maybe they'll be faster since there's so many more now. But as soon as we can get those, we will add them to the map and you'll see them.
I did notice that for January there were tons of them and there were none in your area.
Yeah. Yeah, there was like almost 300, I think, places. And I think the closest one to me was 7 hours away. So maybe even further. And I was like right in the center of the bit. Anyway, I think that was on Instagram or somewhere. We posted an image of, maybe it was our Telegram. It was some gram.
Yeah, we posted it. I posted it on Instagram. Maybe if we posted it other places, I'm not sure. But there was a clear area of avoidance for you.
All right.
We did get a message from Ingress, Ecuador, and they want to know if we have any advice for their first Saturday. They do have an idea. One idea is to do a marathon around the big park in their city. And I actually was sick for our first Saturday, so I didn't get to go. You can't go to one because you're avoided like the plague, so you won't have a lot of advice. But what I would like to do is ask our listeners because there were so many, some of our listeners had to have attended for Saturday or maybe even planned for Saturdays. Maybe they could send us advice for a team that would like to do a first Saturday that hasn't done one yet. Things they learned,
Yeah, and we could even do just like we're doing one for missions, we could do an episode that was all first Saturday centric questions and comments and stuff. And I know Fed Games, they're the ones where you actually submit the first Saturdays and apply for it and all that stuff. They have are used to, I assume they still do, like a guide. It was like a PDF or something that had a bunch of information on ideas for running your first Saturday event and all the criteria too. So that would be a way to get some info. We have one video I think on the channel, maybe two, from first Saturday we had years and years ago, way before they had the badge. So I mean it was 20 agents there. So and it was just a simple hack and capture portals and try to get levels mainly. But yeah, I didn't really see much of the running part of it, so I can't really help you out there.
Gotcha. Hopefully we'll get something we can give some answers next week. Another thing is we posted 2 polls about whether you played with Prime or Redacted and whether you preferred the look of Prime or Redacted. I feel like those are 2 different questions.
Right.
And some of the comments we got, Agent Piprin actually said that I honestly like Prime. I think that most agents' fear is that you need to adjust to the new interface and new muscle memory. While it's still not perfect, you can use Prime for your daily round now, I'd say. And Brickica said that, that's for missions. I'll read that later. And there was another one too where Prime offers a lot of good and new improvements, but I think it will take a while until it gets to Redacted in terms of performance level. And that's a fair comment, I think. And another person said that they like Prime too. The last person was Andrew Rosa 25, and this is Cata Black Cat. I like Prime too, but the Cata Black Cat didn't vote because they use both, so they weren't sure whether to pick one or the other. Yeah,
You need an option in there for both, right?
Well, I could only use two. The poll, it's kind of limited to two. So yeah, I realized that. That's kind of why I posted to kind of get comments, just so that people could kind of add in for safe casual gameplay. Kind of Black Cat uses Prime, but for events and OPs, they use redacted because Prime is too slow at this point in time, and the glitches and battery issues. But they're confident that those will be solved and that Prime will be great. So, yeah, and another, I think it's Lowe's Unicorn, using both for now while Prime isn't fully up and running and slowly getting used to it as well is kind of one of the other issues too. So it seems like everyone's still, Mark Tolman, I have both installed, trying to use Prime, but when I need speed, I go back. It seems like people are totally still trying to get used to Prime. Yeah. And I actually had someone who joined our Telegram for the show, our discussion Telegram for the show today, sent me a private message and told me that they had the exact. Remember, I told you like my badges weren't loading.
Yeah,
it was really frustrating,
yeah.
And it hadn't updated. Like there was always they were always blacked out. And she told me she had the same problem. What she did was she deleted the app, reinstalled, and it fixed it. And so I did that and totally fixed it.
Oh, nice.
So anyone else who's having that problem, where your badges are blacked out or your mission badges are blacked out, delete Prime, reinstall it. It totally fixed mine immediately.
Have you done that for your sons yet?
No.
Try just deleting the cache on that and seeing if that fixes it.
Oh, okay.
Just if it's a simpler fix.
It's odd though, because I just installed Prime on his like the same day we went and did that. You know what I mean? Like, right. It's kind of weird, but whatever. I'll try it. It takes like a second to delete it.
Yeah, I was just thinking that with the images, it seems like, because I'll have times when they load up slow, like especially when my internet's not connecting, and I'm wondering if it like saved something in the cache in the new one, and then it just never like goes to try to clear it out. Maybe it's a bug, so that would be cool to find out if there's a bug doing that or something. But that's awesome. I'm glad people are chatting up on there and asking questions. And we had what was it? Home Depot Unicorn?
No, Lowe's Unicorn.
Oh, that's the other one.
Oh yeah. Not that. It's not spelled that way. But yeah.
Okay, so that's awesome. Go to the Instagram. It's is it agent _?
It is agent _ academy. There, someone else has the agent academy.
Some realtor, I think.
Yeah, so you'll notice right away. It's totally different.
We'll get those tweets sometimes for like, great seeing you at the conference this week, and it'll be like all these realtor things, and I'll like respond, yeah, it's great. Hope you love Ingress.
I saw you respond to one. I'm like, do you know that's not for us?
Yes. Spoiler alert. Yes, I do. Okay, so we have some mission suggestions for our mission episode for What's in the Castle. What's in the Castle? That's a different one.
Just to update, someone just sent us a message that your volume is much lower than mine, so I'm like screaming over you. That's not good.
Yeah, that'll be better. Thanks for
that'll get fixed. Something. Thank you for the update, though.
Hopefully, I'll fix that in post. But and you were saying all the good stuff anyway, so that works out well. So the first one here is from Asanian, who says, I would like the ability to arrange banner mission icons in order, regardless of what order you complete the missions, and also an expand collapse in the scanner for banners. I have over 1,700 missions completed, so if I expand the mission section in the agent profile in the scanner, it takes ages to expand and sometimes doesn't even expand correctly, and doesn't show the icons in reverse order, missing some and showing the wrong mission details when hovering over the icon. If banners could be expanded or collapsed, this would relieve the amount of screen space the icons would take up and the time taken to display them. That's crazy. It's a lot of
That is
missions.
a lot of missions. I love missions. So, yeah, that's fantastic.
And it's like those. I can't even imagine like scrolling through all of those missions like without any sort of way to sort them, or like if you were looking for one specific one.
That would be it would be totally cool to like sort them by region or sort them alphabetically or sort them by time period. By chronological. Like you should be able, or have a way to save a personal organized, listing.
Well, and they could add in some cool things with the missions, like some different stats. Right now, there's kind of a general time of doing them, but what if they actually kept track, like, to the second, so you could start having, like, timed missions? Who can do this mission the fastest, and things like that, and then people might go back and redo missions just to try to get a faster time, and maybe there's tiered medals for each actual mission with how fast you did it.
Yeah.
There, that's my idea. Also, Arctic Rebel had a lot of ideas for missions, and Arctic sent in a ton of stuff, so we'll be hearing from him for the next few weeks for sure. But these are all the mission ones. He says, for new players regarding missions can be a lot of fun, but they can also say a lot about you. Did you know? Most agents' first mission, the one at the bottom right of your missions list, is typically used to determine where people assume you are from, which makes sense because normally you're going to do a mission first when you start playing the game. Did you also know that you can move missions to the top left of your list by completing them a second time? This is also useful if you start one of the fun but time-consuming banner or mosaic missions but aren't able to finish it, or even worse, get one out of order. It may take a little extra time, but you can restart the entire series to move it to the top of your list and keep everything in the right order. So it's a great tip.
It was a good tip. I've seen some people who have like missions kind of wonky when you view their profile. And it's like, well, that's weird.
I'm one of those. Like
I know. You were the one.
The only banner mission like I ever started was at Disney World, and I had no clue that I thought I had read somewhere that if you redo the mission, it will resync it in the right order. So I just went ahead and started doing the missions, and then I was just going to go back and and then I was like, no, it's just that's not it. It put it in, and so I was real sad.
That's a half true. If you redo it, it does it. It
right.
Resets. Yeah.
It puts it right at the very beginning, so it doesn't. I was stupid, and I did stupid stuff, and now my banner approves it.
But you can always go back and redo it.
Yeah, just need to go to Disney World.
There you go. That's the hop, skip, and a jump, right?
It's an excuse for me to get down there.
Just so you know, our live chat is having some issues posting.
Posting in the live chat?
It's not posting.
Oh, weird.
Yeah.
And JBJ Blaze just subscribed for 13th month in a row to the Twitch chat. So thank you. And he also says, Happy New Year, agents.
Arctic Rebel subscribed for 5 months in a row. I don't know if you mentioned that.
And Whiskey Pirate says, hello all, North Alabama. Who is that? I'm in North Alabama. So that's awesome. Okay, so those are the ideas for what's in the capsule. We're going to move into the new segment for our training about missions, information about missions at Camp Hilo. Let you figure out what that is for now. But it's all going to be about missions, and so if you have any comments on this, please send them in after the show. You can throw them in chat, and hopefully we'll see them. And so anyway, if you haven't done missions before, I'm going to go over a brief description, and this is, Ingress's description. And they say missions are short duration objectives created by Ingress agents. Upon completion, agents are rewarded with a custom medal that are displayed on their agent profiles. Successfully completing certain number of missions unlocks the Spec Ops Metal. So there are a couple medals you can actually get that involve missions. The first one is Spec Ops, and you're awarded it for completing a mission the first time. Like you can go back and do them, but you don't get a second badge, and it doesn't count again for Spec Ops. You just get the mission badge, and I'm calling them badges for the ones you get for the mission, and medals for the actual tiered stuff. I think that's, in my brain, that makes sense. So that's anyway, the tiers are for 5 missions: bronze, silver 25, gold 100, platinum 200, and onyx 500. So I think Asanian has a triple onyx,
right?
There?
Yeah.
So that's pretty cool.
And I think that's like it depends on your area. But I think like Spec Ops is one of the easier badges to get, especially like that bronze and silver, because you can also create, if there's no missions in your area, you can create missions in your area. So you can make it happen for you if they're too far to drive to.
Just
as long as there are portals.
Right, enough portals to start them off.
You have 6 portals. You have missions.
And so could you do 6 missions on 6 portals, just starting with each portal separately? I
don't know how the approval process works. I mean, maybe you could do one where attack only, do one where it's capture and upgrade, do one where it's those ones where like, yeah, there's so many different kinds of missions. We're probably going to talk about this later. I'm probably ruining it, but there's lots of different ways you can design the missions as a player. So yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure how that works. You have to have 6 portals. I know that though.
I have to try that. I tried some things this week, so maybe I'll try that. I'll pick 6 portals and then try to make a mission, a banner mission off those 6 portals.
That mosaic that me and my son did the week before, we kind of hit the same portals over and over again. So, I mean, that was a lot more than 6 portals, but it totally was going in circles and hitting, like, one mission would do these 6 back. Eventually we were kind of hitting the same ones again. So I think you could do it a little bit. And
then they'll ban me from it. But also there is Mission Day. So you can go to Mission Days. They changed the badge a while back to a tiered badge. And so for one Mission Day, you get bronze, 3, silver, gold is 6, platinum is 10, and onyx is 20. They usually have these during anomalies, but also they have them in any other times. And they've just recently released a new criteria for getting a mission day in your area, and a lot of it involves like getting someone locally involved, like your chamber of commerce or the city. Publicity. They want to get some publicity and make sure that the city's kind of on board with it as well. But we'll link to all that information in the show notes because I don't know how many people are actually going to. It's a lot of work to actually do the mission day. So, what is this? Image updated. Oh yeah, the mission day logo was updated just in December, I think, from the Mission Day logo to it's like Han Solo and Chewbacca, I think, staring out at the city. I'm not sure.
Well, that sounds cool.
Some people pointing. All right. So also the badges for missions. When you complete a mission, you get a badge, and these are custom badges that whoever created the mission, and we're going to get into actual mission creation next, but when you create a mission, you actually upload a badge to Ingress, and that's what they use. So like we said before, they show up in the order of the newest being at the top left and the oldest being at the bottom. So, and there's 6 per row, so you've got to, if you're doing banners and stuff, you've got to keep that in order. So if you want your banner to stay straight, you've got to do, say, 6 more to make a full row, or then your banner will be off kilter. And you need to do it.
And from what I've heard, they've changed the maximum rows to 3, so you can only do 18 little photos to make your mosaic now. It used to be much more, so you'll see people with these large banners. You'll see people with 42 to 60 something like images for these massive mosaics. The old ones are still in the game, but you can't create them anymore, is what I've heard. I haven't heard confirmation on that though.
So they changed the verbiage on their mission creation page a while back, that it did say 18 was the max, but now they've removed that. So I think you can still do it, but they can't just be like crap missions to try to get all those things. They still need to be decent missions. And I believe if you look at, and we'll link to this in the show notes, ingressmosaic.com, I believe they show like some recent missions and our banners, and some of them are over the 18, I think. Though man, that's a lot of time to go through and do that many, to do 24 or 36 or 7,200.
Yeah.
So that would be interesting to see what is the longest banner mission, because like, couldn't you just have 2 people do 2 parts and the image still becomes like it's still one big image?
I would love to hear like that. What is the biggest banner mission out there, and was it done by one agent or multiple? Like that is an interesting question. Have you ever created a mosaic in the game?
I haven't. Like I didn't see that as like an option. Like, is that an option to actually?
You can't. There
create
it's
it, right? Like
you have to. For those that don't know, you have to be, I think, level 7 to create missions, and then you go to. Is it missions.ingress.com or
no? It's a horrible. It's mission-author-dot-betaspike.appspot.com.
Awesome.
Right, and we'll link to that.
Flows off the tongue. But anyway, you go in and you create one mission at a time, and what most people know is that they number them for the people who are creating these mosaics know to say 1 of 18, and then 2 of 18, 3 of 18, so that, like, right in the title, so that it's very clear for the people doing them which ones they have to do and in what order, so that the mosaic makes sense. But yes, each mission gets submitted like its own mission separately, and each one has to be approved. And like how I was talking earlier in the show, how I can't get the one to go through, and it's a totally legit mission. I don't know what you do if you're doing, like, I guess you just keep resubmitting it.
Yeah. Yeah, and there's
until it goes through.
And there's a whole group on for mission creators talking about things like that, where people will have you know an 18 mission banner thing, and 2 of them won't go through. So they have all these things there, and a lot of people go ahead and submit it with just some image that takes, and then they keep trying to resubmit it with the image they need, or
oh, that's so frustrating.
Yeah, like it seems like they need a notes thing, I think, in there, so you can add a note to your mission to say, hey, this is part of a mosaic. Yeah. Can you give me more information on why this image won't work? And a lot of times, like, some of the ones I've seen are just, I mean, they're straight up like just gradients of something, you know, of the bigger image, so you can't even tell like what it is. So I don't know like what the problem is. Like, is it the quality of the image, or some of that stuff needs to be kind of updated, and like you said, the emails you got, some emails give you a little more information, but it's like I think if they're rejecting stuff and it's kind of a borderline something, it seems like they could personalize it a little bit and say, hey, this is the problem here, and if you keep submitting it, I mean, we'll keep denying it, so you need to change this or that.
Yeah, we'll save them time and me time.
Yeah, like, because you could have fixed it one time instead of submit it, 5 more times and get banned from the system.
They don't ban you.
Oh, it says if you submit too many crappy missions, they will ban you from the mission.
Really?
Creator. Yeah.
I keep trying. Not care. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know if I'll actually do it, but and we'll link to a lot. If you check our show notes, we'll link to a lot of extra websites, and I know we'll say the name, and like Ingress Mosaic, it's AIK and not AIC. So just check the show notes if you need the links, because there's a lot of good information that you can delve into. Speaking of creating missions, you can create missions once you reach level 7, and then you go to that nasty link that we already talked about. And then it requires at least 6 portals in the mission, and that's the same thing as mission days now. They just need 6 missions, I believe, to make a mission day, technically. And you need 6 portals in each of those. So 36 portals in your town, you could technically have a mission day. And maybe it would get more people there. The missions not only put a little bit of the types of missions. I guess I should sorry, I'm opening this, but you can do them. The main one is like just doing non-sequential hack missions. It's kind of like the first easiest one, would you say? And that just means you go and hack a portal, and then it doesn't matter what order you hack it in. You just go hack those 6 portals, and there will be one portal which is the starting portal, but if it's not in a sequential order, it doesn't matter which one you start. You can start on any of them, but that portal will have an icon on the map and in the scanner to let you know that they're that it's part of the mission, as well as if I do all the portals that are in missions have something that says part of a mission. I don't remember that. I don't think so. Maybe it's just the first one.
But one thing too, missions aren't necessarily only 6 portals long. Sometimes they can be much longer. They can be, I don't know if there's a limit. They can be 18, maybe 24. Like there's, it doesn't matter for a single. 6. It has to have at least 6.
Yeah.
But always like kind of check when you're starting a mission to see how long that list is. Also, kind of glance down to see if it's hack only, or if it's sequential or non-sequential. It'll run throughout the series. Like that's kind of set up from the beginning. But whether it's hack only or upgrade or field, that can change per portal. So kind of give that a glance over before you start the mission to see if you're going to have time or if you're level to do the mission. Because when I first started doing missions are what like attracted me to the game. I actually started playing the game because you told me to, but it was like kind of this desire to learn more of. I saw the video of you and Agent Soho going on a road trip, and it was so awesome. And I was like, I want to do that. So I was thinking like that would be like a cute family thing to do. So anyway, when we first started, and like my first thing was I wanted to do a mission, and then the requirements for the mission in my area was to upgrade capture or upgrade. Well, it was owned by the opposite faction, and it was already like level 6 or 7, and I was level like 2 or 3. I couldn't blow it up. Like there was no way I couldn't dent it. So that was frustrating. So now almost I think all of my missions that I've created so far are hack only because I want them to be newbie friendly.
Right.
So,
right.
But
if you're high enough, you can flip it. But if you're not high enough, you can't flip it, and then you're just like, well, I did 5 or 7. I got 24. That's what you should do, is make a 24 portal mission and just have the last one be you have to upgrade, and then always keep it level 8 in one faction.
Yeah.
That'd be mean. But yeah, so like you said, it can have as many, or it can have more than 6 portals in it, and there's non-sequential. There's also sequential that you can say, hey, you have to hack these 1 through 8 or whatever, and then it'll tell you the next portal. Unless it's hidden, then you got to hack one, and then the next one will be revealed. And so that's another method. I guess we could go through all the objectives. So there can be multiple objectives. There's view this field trip waypoint, so they don't all have to be actual portals. They can be field trip waypoints, which are just places that you go, and you just have to get in the area where it is, and then it will ding and go on to the next one. You got the hack this portal. You have install a mod on this portal, capture or upgrade this portal for your faction, create link from this portal, create a field from this portal, or enter a passphrase, which are notoriously troublesome because it can be problematic if there's nothing there that really tells you the correct spelling or something of the passphrase, and you could just be stuck. And there's really no recourse except for asking the agent who created it to please fix it or give you a hint or something. Which on the missions you will be able to see who was the creator of the mission, so you could ping them if you wanted. Matter of fact, do it if you like a mission. Go, hey, this was an awesome mission.
I recently did some missions in my area. We have 4 big metro parks in our area, and they have tons of portals to them. They're always gray, and there was one little mission in one of them, but the other, they didn't have missions at all. So that's the Willow Park that I mentioned earlier. Like, that's one I did a mission set through, and a couple of the other ones. And I was my whole goal for creating missions through them is to encourage gameplay, to pull gameplay down into the area, because people will travel for missions. They'll travel more for mosaics, I think, but I'm starting new, starting fresh here. Having trouble getting like single missions to go through. I'm a little nervous about starting a mosaic, but that's like my goal. Someday I'll do a mosaic. But anyway, the first agent to do the mission in one of the parks told me like that one of the portals is in a dead zone, and he or she couldn't get any signal to claim the portal at all, and it took him a long time. He finally did, or she, I don't know, but he just kind of gave me that feedback, and so I went in and edited the mission to just delete that portal, because I don't want the mission to be difficult. I want the mission to be a fun exploration, right, and to encourage gameplay, not to discourage people. So I really, as the mission creator, I really appreciated the feedback from it.
Well, that was really cool of you to do that. You could have just gone neener.
That's really mean. He or she spent the day like out doing the mission I created, and I'm gonna be a turd about it. No.
Yeah, that would have been jerky.
Yeah.
I was trying to fix the chat stuff. So we'll have to fix that next week. Sorry, the chat's jacked up at the moment. I don't know why. It should be working, but that's just in our live stream, and it's not audio. So, let's see, where were we? Those are the events you can do at each portal. You can add custom descriptions to each portal, like when we're creating the missions, and it's I think they like that when you put more information about that location, give more information about the portal, why is it in the mission, what's this mission about, give them a real sense that they're doing something more than just hacking on portals. I did do one mission that was a scavenger Huntsville, and it's like a 12 portal mission that you have to have a passphrase for every single portal. No one's done it yet, so that's the other thing, is the portal creators actually see the stats in their mission view, so they can see how many people have done the portal, not necessarily who, but at least how many people have actually done it, as well as the percentage of people who gave thumbs up. So when you finish doing a mission, it'll ask you, did you like this? Basically, was it a good mission? And you can either say yes or no. And I don't know if that really has any bearing on anything, except for possibly I've heard that it pushes higher thumbs up missions up the list in that area. So I know on mission days they ask people to, at least some of them, they ask people to please thumbs up the mission, so it makes it easier to see when you go to a city that's had multiple mission days. it sometimes can be difficult to know exactly which mission is for that year. Usually the images have a different banner on it, but some of them look similar. So that's one way to help. I don't know how long your missions have taken to be approved. Most of mine have taken 2 to 4 days, and it seems like most people say that it's fairly quick like that. With the holidays, I assume it's been longer, though.
Yeah, because they don't go through the OPR system. It's actually people from Niantic, I think, that approve missions, so it can take a little longer. Well, actually, it's a lot shorter than a portal approval.
Yeah. Like, I've had one portal that was that I submitted that got approved within 48 hours, and it was while I was down at Universal, and it was at Universal, and I think it was just because it was such a busy area that it got, and it was obviously a great portal. I mean, come on, it was a good one. Okay, anyway, mission banners. We've talked a little bit about this. Matter of fact, I think we covered everything here. Yeah, and basically the banners, we just keep kind of throwing the word out there. It's basically taking the small mission badges and then making one big image out of them. Now, they still have the circles, but it's like a pointillism painting, making a bigger image. So they look cooler on your scanner. Also, mission days. This is from Niantic. Mission days bring together agents from both factions to explore cities around the world through the lens of Ingress with unique and local adventures on foot. Attending multiple mission days also rewards you with a special medal in your agent profile. So, I've been to a couple mission days now, and the mission day that was actually, I guess, of 3 or is it 4? Anyway, on the mission days that are solo, you can really do a lot more of the missions. I feel like all the other ones that happen the day after the anomaly, man, you're already beat from doing the anomaly the day before and possibly staying out late that night and then trying to get out of town too. So it's like you really just go and you find the 6 quickest missions and you do them, and then you come back and you check out. So I like the time you can spend at like just a mission day where you can just go and hang out and have fun doing missions with people. And I think that's the nuts and bolts of what missions are and how you can do them. I don't know if we have some possibly tips and tricks. I don't know if let's see, we'll go through these. One of the biggest things I heard a lot and I've seen a lot of griping about is missions that involve portals that have been removed from the network. And the issue is that once you do a mission, the only person that can change it is the person who created it. I mean, Niantic can, but I don't think they do unless it violates something. So if they don't no longer play the game, then you might have a mission that has 17 portals in it, and 3 of them aren't there anymore because Pokemon Go players came in and ruined the area, and they decided to. Not really. But anyway, here's the thing. It doesn't matter. Just do the mission and skip those portals. It'll still count, and it'll still give you the end, and you'll get the badge.
Yeah.
They're no longer, even though they're listed in there, they're no longer part of the mission. And it is something that I guess they probably should look at fixing. If the portal's not there, take it out, you know. Also, recursion, you will not lose the ability to submit missions after you recurse. So if that's was something you like doing, was doing OPR and doing missions, and you're worried about not being able to do that after recursing, no worries. You can still do it. So recurse away. Also, this is something that I just kind of looking through the information that we were going to talk about. I just realized this and found this in the info that we'll link to later. But you can actually share the missions through the icons in the game, and you just click the share button, and then it'll bring up all your sharing possibilities that you have enabled on your phone, email, Telegram, blah, blah, blah. But it will send an image of like the mission criteria and then a link to the Intel mission view. So it'll show those portals and everything. The one thing right now is it appears that since they changed their website to intel.ingress.com, it still uses the old www.ingress. So you will go to a broken link. So just change that www to Intel and it will take you to the proper place.
Just, I think it might help for if you've never made a mission before and you're kind of wondering like, well, what do people want in their missions, or just kind of like wondering what's the popular thing. We kind of have a poll going. Well, we do. We have a poll going on Instagram, and so 92% of the people polled from our Instagram said that they enjoy doing Ingress missions. So that's a big part of getting players into an area to play. So if you're in an area where you don't have a lot of activity, but like a couple cities away there is activity, you might want to create missions in your area to pull some of those players down and get into the mix. Now you're going to get both sides coming in to get badges, so be aware you're going to have active gameplay.
Yeah.
And the next question was, what types of missions do you prefer? 83% prefer the hack-only missions. They are faster, so that makes sense.
Yeah.
You're going to avoid people getting stuck on your mission and canceling it. But that's not to discourage people from doing the more complicated missions. Those are fun too, and 17% of the people prefer those. So there are people out there that they're the level 16s, and they've got the ability to do those fielding and upgrading and capture tasks, or they enjoy those trivia passcode questions. They love the challenge of that. So don't be discouraged away from doing those missions if that's what you want to do. If you have an idea for your area, people will still do them. It'll just be less people, but those people who love that type of gameplay will be happy that they exist. Also, what type of missions do you prefer? The any order or sequential? It's 50-50 on that. People really don't care, or don't seem to care from this poll anyway, whether with sequential or any order. So if you want to take people on a specific tour route and have it end at a certain place, maybe because you own a pub and you have a statue outside that pub or something.
That's a good idea.
Excuse me.
Yeah, I can only imagine if like you said, if you were at a smaller town close by to a bigger town, if you had enough portals to come up with a really cool looking banner, mosaic, missions to do, you could get a lot of people over there just to get that banner out there. Even
if you only have enough for a badge, for example, the one for Bel Air, Michigan has the Prince of Bel Air. Yeah, I showed it to my husband. He's like, "Oh no, you have to have this," and we stayed an extra, driving around to do that mission. So if your image or badge is cool enough, people will travel for it. Another question, what type of missions do you prefer? Just single badges or the mosaics? 76% of people do prefer mosaics. They are impressive. They are harder to get approved, from what I've been told, but it's going to pull in a lot more people for gameplay. Have you ever created a mission? 69% of people said yes. So there's a lot of people out there making missions. Do you plan on creating more missions? 74% of people said yes. And there's some why or why not type of questions in here also. Let's see.
I mean, you went off on...
I did. I took some info here from people. I was curious for myself too. Let's see. Pure Energy responded that they wanted to create a mosaic, but only one mission of it got accepted, so they ended up deleting the whole thing. So I don't know from this comment if I'm going to respond to them and talk to them a little more, if they tried sending it in multiple times and got failed, or if they were worried, like you said, about the warning about getting like banned from doing them, so they stopped trying to get it in there. I'm not sure, but that was the denial of all but one was frustrating enough for them to stop.
Yeah. It was probably the coolest mission banner ever. And we're all losing out now. So yeah.
Maxim Musanimef, I can't say that very well, I'm sorry. They just started playing Ingress, and their level's not high enough to submit them yet. But they said that they are fun. So, Agent Piprine says that they submitted missions for TS Morpheus campaign so that they could have a media drop in Berlin.
Oh, cool.
And they want to create more because they need more media and because it's quite fun to create one. So, let's see. M. Brickica says that I want to have my city a unique mission to walk with my friends and do it, and for tourists to explore. My small city is built on ancient city that is protected by UNESCO, so the whole town has historic story. I'm not sure what that is. I kind of want to Google it and find out, though.
Yeah, it's interesting.
That's exactly why you want to do missions, is to find out of all local lore and history and stuff. So that's exactly why missions need to be created. Another person says they never created a mission. They haven't had an idea for a great one yet, so that's understandable too.
Yeah, ghosts. Everybody loves ghosts. Find all the portals around legends, ghosts, and lore in your
That's
area.
why I was trying to do the one ghost store, the underwater ghost town thing. But anyway.
And you did one that had like Ghostbusters? That was cool.
The mosaic was the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man, and it had nothing to do with any local lore. It just happened to be in a cemetery.
Yeah, ghosts.
Yeah. Like, yeah. So that's our feedback from our Instagram. Highly recommend you use our Instagram. It seems to be a really chatty, interactive place right now. So.
Yeah. And Whiskey Pirate had a comment in the chat about missions. Said one rule that kind of went unspoken with some of the scenic hiking missions that involved capture was only using level 1 rezos to encourage others to come and do the captures. Helped it continuously switch sides.
That's really good.
Good.
If you know that that portal is specifically used for badges. The problem I have in my town is that they're also anchor points. So, you're blowing up someone's anchor point so you can do the capture. Okay, it's like, I don't want to really start a big fight with you. I'm just doing the mission. But yeah.
Well, we also had, I guess one last tip is you can actually use the mission creator for more than just creating missions. And I encourage anyone who's level 7 or above to go in and even just take a look at it. But when you go in and start a mission, like you can start a mission and you don't actually have to submit it. You can save it and delete it, all that stuff. You don't have to worry about like accidentally submitting something. But part of searching for the portals that you want for your mission is you get this big map that has these heat spots of all the portals. So you can find pockets of portals if you're looking for, uniques or some other reason to find like big pockets of portals to go field off or whatever. It's a great tool to find those close to you, and as you zoom in, it'll give you the number of those smaller and smaller areas, so you can kind of zoom into exactly an area with a bunch of portals. Now, the one thing we'll say with that is make sure you click off the what are they called? The view things, the binoculars, the field
trip?
Yeah, field trip. God.
Field trip.
They do show the field trip points too, but if you turn those off, you'll see just the portals. And so that's a good way to do that.
Just for people, if you don't know what Field Trip is, it's a secondary app that Ingress talks to. They have a good shaking hands relationship with. So points in Field Trip, which are points of historical significance in your area. They might not be portals, but they will have news, like kind of a Wikipedia of news kind of attached to them about what they are. And you can use those in your missions, even though they're not portals. Those are really good, I found, for kayaking missions. Because a lot of bridges and stuff will be on field trip. So if you want to do like a river mission, because around here we have a lot of rivers, so you can do like a river mission, and someone would have to kayak it to get all those points. They would. I mean, I guess you could drive it and park and hike it all, but that would, that's crazy. But yeah,
that would be crazy. So, I guess that's most of the mission, like what we can teach on it. We'll link to a lot of stuff, which we'll talk about in this segment.
Agents, it appears we have found something interesting. Media acquired.
So, we have a ton of links, and these will be in the show notes. We have the mission authoring tool. There's one thing I did want to mention, especially since this is the mission episode, Mission Day at Sea. That's coming up next year. This is the first official mission day that will be on a cruise. And so you'll be able to go cruise and then do missions at stops. They're working on getting some tech to have the portal actually hackable at times during the day, so you don't lose Sojourner, and so it'll be a lot of fun. A lot of people already signed up. They may be running out of space, so go to missiondayatsea.com and find out more about that. Also, Ingress Mosaic, AIK, ingressbanners.com, and then we have a bunch of links to the official Ingress mission information, mission criteria, how to discover and share missions, as well as all the AMA mission-specific answers that Andrew has given out over the months of those, as well as Fev Games has a bunch of mission information we'll link to, as well as the G+ groups, our communities for mission series, to help kind of debug why you're getting dinged and not getting those submitted. So great way to.
I should probably check on that.
Yeah, they'll probably tell you in 5 seconds, or just go keep resubmitting.
Like, duh.
So I did I didn't realize you said something. I didn't realize this was an issue. I did submit some missions this week, and I used the our logo, which I've used before, and it worked. We have a mission in Huntsville for the Agent Academy. If you're looking for it and you're in Huntsville, go to 5 Points, and it's in the middle at a church there. The starting one is. But I submitted more. I submitted one for Agent Academy in Novi. Is that the right one? I don't know.
I don't live in Novi.
I know, but it's where we went to the MCC, and I found the portals.
Motor City Comic Con.
Yeah.
We should. I should do a Motor City Comic Con mission.
Yeah.
That'd be fun.
Yeah, and then they can do the Agent Academy in Novi there. And so then I did one in. Anyway, I did like 3, but I used the same image, so I'm not allowed to use the same image. Am I gonna get dinged on that?
Oh, I don't know. That would be kind of cool if you got like. If there were 6 Agent Academy, just change the color a little bit. Do an orange one, do a blue one, do a green one.
Yeah, I guess I could do that. Do like
Do
a
a
tier
red
of them
one,
or
do a yellow
something.
one.
Or
Yeah, and then people could do them in any order. That would be difficult because they're so far away, but they could put them in a rainbow. It would be so fun. But anyway.
The Rainbow of Agent Academy. So anyway, I did those. And so, yeah, anyway. So I guess that's about it for tonight. We're going to get out of here. Before we do have our own badge that you can get on the website, agentacademypodcast.com. If you know where to find the actual badges, you can get it tonight. If not, you might have to wait till the episode's released on Wednesday. But the code is, and write this down so you will have it, AA Just Hack 6 AA, and that's the number 6. Don't forget that the episodes are now going to be live streamed on Mondays for the foreseeable future. I've put on our Facebook page, I put the episode last week, and I'll do it again this week, as well as the future episode dates, so you can stay tuned there. Be sure to go to Instagram and check us out, Agent_Academy. Agent Zellybelly is kicking ass over there, and I'm going to have to go look. I don't really do Instagram that much, but now I'm going to have to start looking more.
Oh, I claim that it's always you talking to everybody, so...
Well, that's funny, because on Twitter I always claim it's you, but I'm usually very aggressive and angry at people, so...
That explains a little bit, actually.
So leave us a review on iTunes, so other agents can find us out. And thanks for submitting everything. We'll see y'all next week. Same time, same place.
Woo!
Go out there and hack something. Not a bad.
I'll be healthy by next week. Yeah.
Yes. Get well. Get better.
I'm trying.
And everybody, calm bomb Zellybelly. Tell her to get well. Get better.
No, that's fine.
Okay. Night, everyone.
Good night, everyone.